My name is Will Vitella from Avparts.com. I'm very excited to introduce a brand new technology, a brand new software that is going to change the remote control home automation software category. This particular software is called the Onkyo Module. This Onkyo Module was created by a remote control home automation control app company by the name of OnControls. OnControls is a control software that can control your TV, audio system, air conditioning, heating, cameras, and lights. This particular Onkyo module was built by OnControls, which resides and lives inside of the OnControls application. So when used in conjunction with an Onkyo surround sound receiver inside of your projects, it basically will unleash new capabilities that were not only not available before, but will be available without purchasing any other additional expensive hardware. Okay, so now I'm going to be demonstrating the Onkyo module. And again, the Onkyo module is a software program that resides and lives and operates within the OnControls remote control automation application. So obviously you have to have OnControls in order to take advantage of the Onkyo module. And I should mention that for this demonstration I am using an iPad mini. However, you can use the first generation iPad, second, third, etc. And the newer the iPad, the faster processor, the better the performance of your any application on there, including OnControls. And I should mention that I do like the better form factor, smaller form factor of the iPad mini, because I could take my thumbs and I could literally reach from anywhere on the touchscreen to be able to select any of the graphics on here. So it just makes a perfect size remote control, especially for the ladies and the kids in the house. So let's go ahead and launch the OnControls application. In an OnControls application, I have a home screen that I programmed in here, and with OnControls, it is fully customizable, so you can use whatever available graphics is in the database or upload your own. And for more of an overview on OnControls in general, please refer to our other training videos in this series. So the two features I'm going to be focusing on that the Onkyo module are built for is the iPod iPhone feature, which basically turns your iPod and iPhone into a mini server to be able to access your iTunes music that is stored in there, and also your streaming capability. Streaming capability accesses all the streaming apps that are available through the Onkyo receiver. Apps like Pandora, Spotify, Sirius Rhapsody, Last.fm, and so forth. So it's very powerful because you do not have to sell any additional hardware in order to be able to use the streaming app capabilities. You merely just have to have an Onkyo receiver plugged in with an Ethernet network connection on the back of it, and Onkyo module with the OnControls remote app, and you're ready to rock and roll. So this is revolutionary because it just brings these higher end features that weren't available before at a ridiculously attainable price for your average consumer. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to launch the iPod iPhone macro, and it's going to basically access the iPhone connected to the front USB connection on my Onkyo receiver, and it's going to go ahead and start playing the last song I happen to be listening to. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that song, but you'll notice that it has beautiful metadata information, beautiful cover art on a very nice black background on here. It has a nice volume slider bar, dynamic buttons, so you'll notice that when I click play on here, it'll go ahead and it'll change over to the pause icon, next track, previous track, and then you'll also have your random and your repeat. Your random will go ahead and toggle between shuffling within the artist, within your playlist, or turning it off. Your repeat will toggle between repeating the same song or repeating the whole playlist over again. So let's say, for example, we wanted to choose a different artist, different song. What I can go ahead and do is click back on here, and it'll take back. Obviously, takes me back a step at a time. So here we have all the artists in my iPhone. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is choose another artist. It'll bring up the album. Choose that album. And it'll bring up all the available songs. There's only one, so I'm going to choose that. Metadata information is going to again change. And the cover art is going to go ahead and change on there. So as you can see, it works pretty quick, pretty fast, and has fast access, very nice graphics on there, and it's just great. I mean, this is how awesome it is. It's serving it up within the remote control application with all this information without having to exit and switch between two different apps to be able to control your iTunes and to be able to control your volume selection or your on and off or switching back to watching your television or whatever you're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and make another song selection so you can see that again. So I'm going to click back and back. And it'll bring me again all the artists on here. So I could click more so you can see how it does that. And I'm going to go ahead and select another artist. It'll bring up another album and select another song. Metadata information changes and the cover art is going to come up shortly. And it's just easy as that. And that's the iPhone, iPod portion of the Onkyo module. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate the streaming app capability portion of the Onkyo module. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select back on here, and then it's going to give me the ability to be able to select network or USB. So I'm going to choose network, and when I choose network, you're going to notice it's going to bring up all the multitude of streaming app capability, which is absolutely just phenomenal. The amount of selection that you have that is utilized inside this Onkyo module. I mean, you have VTuner, Pandora, Rhapsody, Sirius XM, Last.fm, Slacker, Spotify, MP3 tunes. You really have the most popular music streaming applications in here without selling any other additional piece of hardware other than an Onkyo receiver. This is absolutely just amazing, and again, living within inside your OnControls application. So let's go ahead and make a selection and see how it looks. So I'm going to select Pandora Internet Radio. It's going to bring up various radio stations. I'm going to select Nora Jones Radio, and it's going to immediately access the server Pandora and play the first song. Of course, with Pandora, as you can see, Nora Jones doesn't happen to be the first selection. However, you can see that it has beautiful cover art, metadata information on there with the beautiful black background, allowing that cover art to really pop. You also have a dynamic volume slider bar. You can see that. And then you also have your pause and your next track selection on there that Pandora allows you to do. So I'm going to click pause on there. And you're going to notice that it'll dynamically change over to universal play icon. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play again. Now I'm going to do that once more for you so that way you can kind of see the process there. I'm going to click list on there. And it's going to again give me the list of the Pandora radio stations. And I'm going to choose something else. So I'm going to choose the script radio station here. Accessing the server, metadata information is going to populate, cover art is going to populate, and it works literally that easy, that simple. It's absolutely just phenomenal and amazing, and I think that you definitely should check it out and start utilizing this in your projects, because we all specify in surround receivers as part of the basic setup. And you also have to specify a remote control, some sort of universal type of controller to make it easy for your clients to be able to operate their system, but yet you get this as a bonus that they can access and see their music information, whether it's coming from an iPod, iPhone, or Pandora, Spotify, or Sirius XM, etc. And imagine, they don't have to walk over to the television set in order to be able to see their selections. A lot of guys still use a Blu-ray player and depend on the on-screen menu on the TV to make your selections. But imagine you might have 3 TVs in the house, but you might have 7 zones of audio. What if you're in the backyard and there's no outdoor TV? You don't want to tell the customer, hey, you have to go back inside the family room to turn on the TV to see what the heck you're doing in order to be able to make a different selection. You want the customers to still be able to be in the backyard, be able to have access to volume control for your different zones, which you could create a page for those multiple zones, and be able to see and select their various type of music that they have at their disposal. So that, in a nutshell, is the Onkyo module.